Viewers, good morning. Welcome to the session. I am going to explain some of the important passages for explanations from Lycidas by John Milton today. I read out the passage first and then I shall explain them. What by the rot lesbian showed, line 61 to 63 of Lycidas. The above passage is reintroduced from Lycidas by John Milton, a great British poet. John Milton was a great scholarly poet who knew many languages such as Latin, French, Greek, Italian and English as well. He was a well-read man. It is why his poetry is full of classical references and myths. In the above lines, the poet follows the convention of pastoral poetry. The poet now deals with the nymphs and the deities of mountain and rivers. The poet tells that by their timely action, they might have prevented the disaster of Lycidas, the death of Lycidas from drowning in the Irish Sea. He wonders whether they had been at the time of the accident or shipwreck. Possibly they were not present by the time at the scene of the disaster. On closer reflection, the poet recollects that even if they were present on the spot, they could not have saved Lycidas from drowning, because even the Muse herself, the mother of Orpheus, could not save her son from from being torn to death by the frenzied female worshippers of Bacchus. The passage has references of classical myths such as Bacchus, Orpheus. They are mythological figures. The passage is well composed. It has use of many literary devices such as similes, metaphors, personification and others. Now let me talk and explain the second passage. Alas, what boots it? Neeraj here, line number 64 to 69. This is a famous digression from the main topic of the elegy Lycidas. It contains the poet's reflection on contemporary poetry and notion of the high and lofty ideal of poetry. It is important to mention here that it is not an integral part of the elegy Lycidas itself. The young shepherd Lycidas has not only been dutiful and loving to his flock of sheep, but also skillful at his pipe in composing poetry. He is wedded to the cultivation of his inborn gift of song with dedication and single-minded seriousness and earnestness. Yet all this avails him nothing, as he is cut off in the prime of his life by the cruel hand of death and destiny. Likewise, Milton himself has been pursuing the same ideal of poetry all his life. Lycidas' fate now fills his mind with doubt and fear as to whether he is doing the right thing or not. Milton wonders whether he should make a bid for cheap popularity like the contemporary song composers and writers such as Carew, Herrick, Lovelace, etc., so as to be sure of immediate reward and prize. This passage also refers to many classical figures and myths. The passage is pregnant with a meaning. The third passage, it is very important passage. Fame is the asper, laborious days, line number 70 to 72. This passage is also a digression from the main theme, main topic of Lycidas, the elegy. The cultivation of true poetry could not save the life of the gifted poet Edward King, who is named Lycidas in the poem, who is a very popular shepherd name in Greek literature. Before this aspiring and young poet could earn lasting fame and name by pursuing his ideal of poetry, he is cut off in the prime of his life by the cruel hands of death. Fame is the incentive that makes poor souls work hard and live a laborious days, avoiding all frivolous pleasures, subjecting himself to a life of spiritual self-discipline. Fame is the last infirmity of noble minds all over the world. Other moral weaknesses may be conquered, overcome by great men, but love of fame is the most difficult of all to be overcome, to be won. One's only consolation is that true fame can be achieved by his deserving in heaven, not on earth. This passage is also a famous digression from the main theme of the poem, the mourning of death of Lycidas, which comes for Edward King, the true and great friend of John Milton. By the way, the poet talks about the name and fame that inspires and motivates all the noble souls to live a laborious days and do hard work. But name and fame comes only in heaven, not upon this earth. This is a very famous passage on the quality of fame on the nature of fame in the world. Thanks for watching.